Toxic, a fairy tale for grown-ups, regardless of what the teaser trailer might want you to believe, is set up to be one of the biggest bait and switches in Indian cinema, mark my words. Sure, the trailer promises your typical over-the-top alpha male power fantasy, and I sincerely hope that that's what we are getting. But I can't get over the feeling that this is all a giant ruse. Why, you might ask? Well, look past the smoke and mirrors of the hype and action on screen and look at the mind behind it all. Geetu Mohandas. Now, no shade at Geetu Mohandas. She is an award-winning actress, writer and filmmaker, and I have nothing but respect for her numerous talents. But where I would disagree with her is when it comes to her politics. Geetu Mohandas, for the unaware, is a celebrated left liberal activist and an outspoken vocal advocate for women's rights and female empowerment. She has spoken publicly about the challenges faced by women in male-dominated world of cinema, advocating for broader recognition and empowerment for women artists. She is associated with Women in Cinema Collective, a Kerala-based organization that works on issues affecting women professionals. Example, safety, representation, equality in the film industry. If all that's not enough, she has been extremely critical and vocal about misogynistic elements in films such as Mammootty star Kasaba, questioning the normalization of objectification and toxic masculinity in Malayalam cinema, whatever it's supposed to mean. I think you can see where I'm going with this. You can disagree with her politics like I have and call her a librand or feminist or whatever, but one thing I would never call her is stupid. In the sense, I do not think for even a fraction of a second that she lacks the self-awareness to not know what she is getting into while writing and directing an escapist male fantasy like Toxic. Nor do I think she's a complete hypocrite to do a full 180 in her political views and take a huge dump on decades of her struggle and achievements accomplished on behalf of women in cinema. So at the very least, I find this entire situation to be extremely sus. It would be like if Sandeep Vangareddy decided to direct the sequel for Thappad, or if Michael Bay decided to do a follow-up to Barbie. Something is not adding up. Now, at least some of you are possibly thinking that I may be overreacting, and she would do no such thing, promising something like a badass anti-hero male character in the trailer of a film, and then turning him into something else in the film when it finally releases, only to push her political views. Funny you should say that. Case in point, Muthon, her 2019 film, where it got us Nivin Pauly fans really excited for a seemingly flawed yet badass character for Nivin Pauly, and what happens in the film? Yeah, he's gay. That was unexpected to say the least. Sure, creative freedom and whatnot, but you get what I'm saying. How you feel about such bait and switch tactics is completely up to you, but me personally, I'm very tired of the message or the left-wing agenda or the propaganda, whatever you call it, being injected into every single film that I'm watching, especially my escapist alpha male fantasy films. And I'm not saying that she will 100% do the same thing to Yash's character in Toxic, but hey, God didn't give me a pattern recognizing brain for absolutely nothing. To bring it all together, I don't want to dampen anyone's hype for Toxic, but for reasons I stated above: A. Geetu Mohandas' very outspoken political views, B. her tendency to inject said political views into her art even by devious means, I am not feeling very confident about Toxic. If there is some solace, I hear that there has been creative clashes happening behind the scenes and Yash has taken over at least some of the writing and directing duties. So maybe he will get rid of all the feminist propaganda altogether and replace it with scenes of him porking foreign women, but I think it's a bit too late for that. Maybe it will have both of their ideological sensibilities combined into a very confusing mess of an alpha male feminist movie, if that could even exist. But as it stands, Geetu Mohandas' name is proudly associated with the film everywhere and she hasn't objected to any of it. So I don't think the film goes against any of her sensibilities anyway. I can only hope that Yash's character won't be gay or trans or have his dong chopped off somewhere in the movie, but hey, you never know. To conclude, I understand that most of you are hyped up after watching the trailer, but I'd recommend being cautiously optimistic till the first reviews are out, preferably from someone who doesn't agree with Geetu Mohandas' political views to be on the safe side. And you already know who it is. It's me, yes, yours truly, the Indian Movie Critic. So please subscribe and stay tuned, and please let me know in the comment if I am overthinking this by any chance. And once again, don't forget to hit subscribe. More brutally honest content coming your way very soon. Catch you later. Bye.